How's it going, everybody? I'm the BTC Reaper. My goal on this channel is to teach you how to reap the rewards of trading while the price is going up or down. So over on Dixie for the daily, we are retracing a little bit. We did try to break that 300 EMA, but we did stay above it. Stochastic is starting to round. RSI wants to pull back. That VWAP is starting to lose some strength. I would watch that momentum as that VWAP loses strength. That could cause us to see some further losses. Our money flow does want to pull back. So again, watch that VWAP. If it breaks into the bearish territory, momentum will continue to reject away and money flow would break with it. Over on Bitcoin dominance for the daily, we are seeing a little bit of a gain. Bitcoin did not lose quite as bad as some of the other coins. We may have seen a little bit of stable coins going to Bitcoin. It's kind of fluctuating quite a bit right now. Dominance isn't really too reflective. So we could be seeing stable coins and Bitcoin gaining slightly. We did see futures gain a little bit, so that could take into account here as well. Our stochastic does want to pull back. We have that orange above blue. RSI is starting to drop. Momentum is rounding. That VWAP does want to pull back. Money flow is starting to weaken, so watch that VWAP. If it breaks neutral, we will see a lower low. And if we follow that lower low with lower highs that reject the neutral, we will see momentum break, and then money flow would push down. Again, that would just mean total would push above Bitcoin, and as total is the market cap of our altcoins, that would just mean our altcoins would run better than Bitcoin. So over on total, we have an indecision candle. I would exercise caution though, because this could continue to drop us lower. We are breaking back into this previous sideways channel that we had from the previous bear market break. So again, exercise caution. We are seeing that break of that rising channel. We did try to retest it and we got rejection and we are pushing down. Stochastic is pulling back. We have that orange above blue. RSI is dropping. Momentum is weakening. We have a red dot as that VWAP is breaking down, suggesting momentum will continue to weaken and money flow could start to pull back, which would give us that trend reversal and we would possibly see further sell-off then. Over on the 4-hour, we did get a retest to bounce off that channel. Then we tried to break out of our golden pocket. We got rejected by the top of that area, and then we drop back into our channel. So if we see continued losses and we break that 300 EMA, then we likely would push down to the 602 and see total or our altcoins start to sell off a bit as well. Our VWAP is pushing down. Momentum is starting to pull back. We do have a red dot. Our money flow is pushing down due to momentum weakening. Remember that red dot signals that momentum could continue lower, which would bring money flow lower, and if that money flow breaks bearish, we will see further sell-off. RSI is pulling back, stochastic is dropping, we have orange above blue, that's a bearish cross. That does mean our stochastic will continue lower and bring RSI down, which will in turn bring price action down as well. Over on the 2-hour, we did get that rejection, sorry about that, we'll lock that in place. So we did get that rejection. We had several manipulation X's that would have been your signal that we could continue lower. Remember, when they're in pairs, that does bring you down. Stochastic is starting to round away. We have orange above blue. VWAP is breaking down. Momentum is pushing away. And our money flow is breaking down. So overall, we are seeing some losses here. On the 1-hour, we are testing that 300 EMA. So I would exercise caution. We do have a possible long lower shadow candle though. So if followed by a strong green candle, we could see a push forward, potentially making a slightly higher low and then a slightly higher high. That could create a bullish channel if these highs and lows don't start to connect, so I would exercise caution on that bit. But right now they really don't, so that would be positive. That means we could have a bullish continuation, and remember, a bullish continuation will push you forward. Our RSI does want to pull back. Stochastic is dropping. VWAP is starting to break into the bearish territory with lower lows and lower highs, bringing momentum lower and causing our money flow to sell off. So if this continues to favor bearish here and we reject that neutral, we likely will see the higher time frame start to weaken at this point. Over on Bitcoin futures for the daily, we will zoom out so we can get our fixed range volume profile. Need to be on the daily, sorry about that. So there's our fixed range volume profile, kind of have two of them going on, but we are trying to get a bounce off that 65.5. We did try to pull back toward it on Bitcoin today. We did see a little bit of a bounce and a rejection. That long upper shadow, if followed by continued red candles, will act as a lowering candle, and that can cause us to sell off. So I would exercise caution. It could end up dropping us down back here did. Our stochastic is starting to push down. We have orange above blue. RSI is weakening. Momentum is rounding with a red dot. VWAP is breaking down, suggesting momentum could start to round away and bring price action lower. Our money flow is in the bearish territory, so if that momentum starts to break away from here, we will see continued losses. Over on the 4-hour, we are still within this channel, so we do still have that going for us. But again, exercise caution. We do want higher lows with higher highs to create a kind of bullish continuation within this channel to help this channel push up. RSI is pulling back, momentum is favoring bearish, VWAP is pushing into the bearish territory. We got a little bit of a break, so we have lower highs. Watch for consistent or lower lows that would continue to drop us away, and then we would likely break that 65.5. RSI is dropping, stochastics rounding, so overall the 4-hour doesn't look very positive. Over on the 2-hour here, we are starting to drop away. We did get a manipulation X. We tried to push against it, but we do have a pair of them, so I would exercise caution. We may see further losses from here if we're not careful. If we cannot break above this blue EMA and hold, we're likely going to break that 65.5, and then that's where we would continue lower toward our 300 EMA, the black line. And remember, if we break that, we would push to that 61,790. Stochastic is starting to pull back. We have orange above blue. RSI does want to round away. VWAP is pushing down. Money flow does want to reject. Our momentum is gaining strength, but if that VWAP rejects that neutral and we see a lower high here, momentum will start to reject as well, and money flow would break into the bearish territory. Over on the 1-hour here, our stochastic is trying to push up. We do have blue above orange. That's a bullish cross that does want to push you up. RSI is gaining strength. VWAP is trying to break that neutral. I would watch if that VWAP can hold above neutral and get higher highs with higher lows. We would continue to push forward, see momentum round up, and see money flow gain strength. If that does happen, we could invalidate any kind of bearish momentum. However, if this VWAP does make another rejection of this neutral, we will see momentum continue to fall, money flow would reject, and that would start to weaken those higher time frames. And remember, as futures does lead Bitcoin, that would weaken Bitcoin as well. So over on Bitcoin for the daily, we did call in our Discord that we got to break up and to exercise caution at that point because we could see a sell-off. So hopefully you were in that Discord, you got that. Many of you aren't. Stochastic is pushing down. We do have blue above orange, or orange above blue, sorry, looking everywhere. We have that orange above blue that is causing us to sell off. That's bringing RSI lower. Momentum does want to round. VWAP is breaking down, and the money flow is starting to break into bearish territory. So I would exercise caution. We will delete this channel because we got our full break. We can show that in the lower time frames before we delete it. The 4-hour shows it well, right around like the top of this candle. We called, hey, we may start to retrace. If we do not hold lower EMAs, we can kind of cover that in the lower time frames, but VWAP is rejecting. Money flow is pulling back. Momentum is falling. Money flow is going to continue to fall if that VWAP and momentum continue to drop, and RSI and stochastic are weakening. So overall, this does give us the potential to continue lower and make a bearish continuation channel out of this potential failed breakup. So over on the 2-hour here, we did reject several EMAs. We said we needed to get above these lower EMAs and hold, otherwise we could push down to our other EMAs and start a breakdown. That's what we're seeing currently go on. Stochastic is dropping, RSI is pulling back, VWAP is in the bearish territory, momentum is pulling back, and the money flow does want to reject as well. If that VWAP continues to push down, momentum will break down and money flow will continue to weaken. Over on the 1-hour, we did get saved by that 250 EMA. If we can stay above this EMA, we could make a bounce forward and run forward. But if we do not stay above this EMA, we do still have lower lows with lower highs. That is creating that bearish channel. So we want to hold above some other higher EMAs and make bounces forward. Otherwise, we will stay in this bearish channel that could continue to break us down. VWAP is in the bearish territory. Momentum is dropping. Money flow is pulling back. So if that VWAP continues to favor bearish from here, momentum will continue to fall. Money flow will remain bearish, and the higher time frames will start to weaken. Over on graph for the daily, we are seeing most of that double top break down, so I would exercise caution. Remember, we do want to see some bullish momentum here, but we have a long upper shadow candle with a manipulation X that does want to bring us lower. Stochastic is dropping, RSI is pulling back, momentum is falling, VWAP is breaking bearish, and money flow is starting to sell off, so overall, I would exercise caution. Over on the 4-hour, RSI is starting to drop, stochastic is falling, bringing RSI and price lower. momentum is falling with a red dot as VWAP breaks down. As that VWAP and momentum break down, money flow will continue lower, and we will see the 4-hour start to weaken that daily. Over on the 2-hour, we did push to our EMA band. We got rejected by most of those EMAs, and we are continuing to reject our lowest EMAs now. So overall, we are seeing bearish pressure here. Stochastic is dropping away. We have orange above blue, bringing our side down and price with it. VWAP is pushing into the bearish territory. Momentum is falling, and money flow is starting to reject. So overall, I would exercise caution. Over on the 1-hour, we are continuing to fall. We have lower highs with lower lows, as creating a bearish continuation channel that does bring you lower. We do have a little bit of a gap forward here though, so if we do continue lower and see this break down, we would have that gap to come back to at a later date. Remember, gaps have an 80% likelihood to fill. VWAP is pushing forward, momentum is dropping down, so if that VWAP continues to favor bearish and does not break over neutral and get a bullish momentum with higher highs and higher lows, we will see momentum continue lower, and that will break money flow lower. Stochastic is dropping away, RSI is pulling back, so overall, if this does not reverse, those higher time frames will continue to weaken and drop away. Over on Ankr for the daily, we are starting to get that rejection of our 3079. We did say to watch out for that. We did pull close to that 2883. So again, if we cannot break above these EMAs and we see that blue get below the green get below blue, if we see our green EMA get below our blue EMA, we would have a bearish cross of these lower EMAs that would bring us lower and help push us back down toward that 2883. Stochastic is pulling back. We have orange above blue. RSI is falling. Momentum is weakening. Our VWAP is breaking into the bearish territory. Momentum is falling. And our money flow is weakening due to VWAP falling, bringing momentum lower as well. So overall, the daily does not look very positive. Watch those lower time frames. If they continue to favor bearish, we're going to continue lower. Our VWAP is starting to push down here on the 4-hour, bringing momentum lower, giving it a red dot, suggesting money flow could break that neutral and push into the bearish territory. Stochastic is starting to fall. We have orange above blue, and RSI is starting to round away. Over on the 2-hour, we are breaking our EMAs. We broke that 300, and we are continuing to dump. So overall, exercise caution. We did see a quick drop down though, so remember, a quick drop down could be retraced by a drop or a move forward, but I would watch for a rejection of that 300 EMA if we do make a move forward, because if we reject that EMA, we're going to get lower highs with lower lows to continue. That would give us that bearish continuation and push us back down. Stochastic is falling. We have that orange above blue. RSI is dropping. VWAP is favoring bearish. Momentum's pulling back, and that money flow is still deep in the red. So if this VWAP does not turn around, we will see that money flow continue to weaken, and those higher time frames will continue to reject. Over on the 1-hour here, we do have the potential to push forward. We have a long lower shadow. We need a little bit of a candle body to fill though. RSI is starting to drop down. Stochastic is falling. VWAP is favoring bearish, bringing momentum lower, and our money flow is starting to break down as well. So overall, I would exercise caution. Over on XRP for the daily, we do have a long upper shadow candle, so that does show that we could see a rejection. Remember, long upper shadows show bulls tried to push you up, but the bears are trying to step in and gain control. Our momentum is starting to round away here. VWAP is very indecisive. Money flow is weakening, so watch that VWAP on lower time frames. If it continues to favor bearish, momentum will break down, money flow will continue down, and we will see a push to the downside. Over on the 4-hour here, we are pushing down to our blue EMA, so we are seeing a push to the second lowest. We do want to bounce forward, so if we can continue this bounce, we could rebound. However, if we do break that EMA, I would watch for a push to that 57394. Stochastic does have a bearish cross. RSI is starting to head down. Momentum does want to round with the red dot as VWAP pushes down, and money flow does want to break down as well. So overall, I would exercise caution. On the 2-hour, we do have higher highs and higher lows. I do not believe they connect very well. I stand corrected, so they do connect pretty well. Higher highs and higher lows in this kind of form does give us that bearish drop. A rising channel will break you down, where a bullish continuation can continue you forward. So that could give us that break of that 57394. Momentum does want to round. We have bearish divergence. Stochastic's pushing down. RSI is falling. VWAP is breaking down, and money flow is starting to weaken. So overall, we're not looking too good here. Over on the 1-hour, we are getting a little bit of a retracement in response to dropping very quick. We have a manipulation X, and the green EMA does want to break that blue EMA, so that could give us that bearish cross to bring us lower. Momentum does want to fall. VWAP does have lower lows with lower highs, bringing momentum lower and causing money flow to weaken. If this continues, we will continue to drop away. Stochastic is falling. We have orange above blue, bringing RSI and price action lower. So last but not least, since we have no requests, ALGO is starting to push down to the neckline of its double top as well. We are seeing a bearish manipulation X that does want to bring us lower. So again, watch the lower time frames. If they continue to favor bearish, we could start to break down here. Stochastic is falling, RSI is weakening, momentum is pulling back, VWAP is favoring bearish, and money flow is pulling back as well. So overall, that daily is continuing to break down. Over on the 4-hour, we hit that support level of our 1350. Kind of hard to see because price action is on it, but we hit that support, and if we do not continue forward, we could start to break away. Momentum is starting to reject with a red dot. VWAP does want to break down. Stochastic is falling. We have orange above blue. RSI is starting to drop, so overall, I would exercise caution here. Over on the 2-hour, we are continuing with lower highs and lower lows, so this is a bearish continuation. If this continues, we will see that break of the neckline and push to our breakdown. Remember, that could bring us right around that 1188. Stochastic is falling, VWAP is rejecting, momentum is falling, RSI is dropping. Overall, we're not looking too good. If that continues, we will see higher time frames continue to break down. Over on the 1-hour, stochastic is falling, RSI is pulling back, VWAP is favoring bearish, momentum is dropping, and money flow is rejecting as well. Overall, we are seeing bearish favor. If we continue to favor bearish with our VWAP, we will continue to reject. Thank you for watching tonight's video. I hope you have a great night.